Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to a brand new episode of Give the Sense 92, where I will be giving you guys the latest on your favorite artists, new music, and exclusive content. And this is going to be part 5 of what happened to R&B series. And I will be honest and I will be blunt and get straight to the point. So now R&B right now it is trap and R&B. This is the climate of music right now. This is like I said, a lot of people are listening to the mainstream of trap R&B. I hear it everywhere I go. It's like, like I said, it's okay, but I have an issue with it because I also think that sound is also not the only sound of R&B, and that there has been plenty of frustration from R&B music lovers, R&B critics, the fans overall, and I will get to the nitty-gritty to how I feel about it, because I think that right now at this day and age we need to support our talented R&B artists and the new R&B artists coming into the music business. And I think that the issue is that since it's so oversaturated with this trap and this R&B, it's like I see how nowadays we even have artists that have been in the music business for years. They have had longevity, and I think that even for this day and age, it's almost like I just don't really get that R&B that I grew up listening to, because like I said, each generation we've had the greats. We've had the greats who have maintained the sound, experimented with their sound, used different sounds and combinations and a variety to create a new wave of music, period. So when I hear the current of trap and R&B, and then I hear the little bit of the mumble rap, well, a lot of the mumble rap, because I think that is also taking away the artistry. Yes, it's catchy at times, but I don't like all that because it's not my cup of tea. But for example, for those who want R&B to survive and to sustain and do well, we have to take a look back down memory lane. We have to take a look back of where and how and when and what has started in R&B. And R&B is a combination of rhythm and blues, right? So what I'm hearing today is rhythm and blues, but I don't really get to hear that soulful R&B that I grew up with. I don't really get to hear a lot of that uplifting R&B, even the R&B that's very innovative and very it really has its own unique sound. And there's only one kind of R&B that's playing on the mainstream radio, which I want artists to not stay in one lane and don't limit themselves and don't stay in the box, because it's very unfair for these artists. They try to put out music, they try to cater to the audience, they try to deliver with their body of work, but it depends on who it is and who a person is and who they are as artists, because the general audience nowadays, they have a short attention span. They're not as open to listening to different sounds and different kinds of music. But I think that for this generation itself, period, I think it's time for R&B to get back to the forefront. I'm here for these new artists right now. I'm here for even the artists that I supported over the years, and they have really progressed their sound. They have really stayed consistent. Now, I do see a change coming, and I do believe that R&B will be back to the forefront again. But I need for the R&B music lovers, the supporters and fans to step their game up, because it's very important. We have to buy the music. If we don't buy the music, it shows, the results show. You can't be coming at these artists that have sacrificed everything in their music career. And yes, we're going to make suggestions We're going to have constructive criticism. We're going to say, well, I want this kind of direction of music. I want this kind of direction of the sound for my favorite artist. But they have the right to create what they're feeling at the moment. And a really, in my opinion, a great body of work is something that's very, cherished, very vulnerable. And it's something that artists are supposed to be themselves and push their artistry. They do not need to be nobody else but them. That's why I hear the redundance. I hear so much redundant, recycled garbage on the radio nowadays, in mainstream radio in that particular, because I feel that there's a lack of creativity. There's a lack of innovation. There is a lack of a lot of things that really has been, like I said, I'm very aware and I've noticed what's been going on in the past couple of years. But for example, I do feel that these artists nowadays, they want to make the music that they want to make, and let them have creative control in their artistry, and let them make the music that they want to make. And instead of listening to the general public about what kind of music they should put out, and they know damn well they're not going to support these artists, but they love to troll, and they love to have these little troll little think pieces or whatever the hell that is. But when you have artists that are really into their craft and really are into their music, they don't care about so much about the popularity and sales. Yes, they are important. Yes, numbers don't lie. Yes, popularity doesn't, like I said, popularity is important, but quality and sustainability and longevity is important. That's why some of these artists, even the ones who are already established, they have maintained their sound for years, or they have struggled, throughout their music career to have longevity and to put out music that they can connect with their fans and audience. For example, starting off with Ciara, she just released her album Beauty Marks. Her album is really good. It's a really good body of work. It is cohesive. And Ciara is an example of an artist that she had to always fight for her art, her music to be heard. But now, since she has her own record label, Beauty Marks Entertainment, and I did an album review of Beauty Marks, so you guys can check that out. And Ciara, for this album is more empowering. She is really expressing her vulnerability, her emotions, her life experiences that she's been through as a woman. I love the production. I love the content overall. It still has Ciara's signature sound, period. Ciara is really one of a kind as in terms of having a sound that she already, like I said, have already had a lane in her own. But she struggled to maintain and have her music to be put out consistently, and with a lot of her fans overall, because I am a dedicated Ciara fan. Same thing with the C Squad. We have watched Ciara grow and evolve as an artist. We have seen her progress. We have seen her go through things in her personal life, but she has pushed through. And for Beauty Marks to be a really good album, I do hear the R&B vibes, the production, but I also hear other elements such as other combination of sounds like pop, a little bit of the trap and R&B and soul. But for Ciara, she have always experimented with her music and the island vibes too. So Ciara with this Beauty Marks album, it's an album that I think that is one of her best cohesive albums to date. Because I find it funny and ironic that some of Ciara's critics throughout the years, they have tried to put her in a box or have tried to discredit her as an artist and being her own entertainer. And Ciara has already been an established act for herself. She has really sustained and have achieved success as an entertainer, and now for her putting out Beauty Marks, which is her 7th album, it's a really right step in the direction where Ciara can have full creative control of the kind of music that she wants to make and the music that she puts out, and staying consistent. And I like how with her, she has her own individuality as an artist. That's why with Ciara, I've always been excited to listening to her music. I've always been excited to seeing what kind of music that she puts out. And her same critics and the trolls who always have said Ciara's music is not as good as, you know, like the mainstream radio. But to be honest, it's their opinion, which is fine. But for Ciara to put out music that is relatable and does have that feeling and does have like that, you know, cohesive input, this album is like more like a empowerment. She wants to make the world dance. And for example, she did dip into the trap R&B sound because she got these songs called Set and Girl Gang. Set and Girl Gang are examples of their trap records, and they have like Set is more of a ambitious, self-made, you know, boss type, go-getter record. She's talking about her haters, you know, she been doing her thing. And Girl Gang is a record featuring Kelly Rowland that she talks about how both of them girl empowerment, being business women and doing their thing. I love that the trap R&B is more, it's like with Ciara, she really like, you know, she really, like I said, she put the trap lane and made it her own, because her artistry is more R&B, hip hop, pop. But what I love about Ciara is that she put a lot of that trap influence too, because she had to stay current a little bit. But Ciara overall, this album is really good. She's got a mixture of reviews. Some people love it, some people don't, but it's all good. But me as a Ciara fan, I already know what's up, so I know I will always support Ciara. But this just goes to show that you have artists that they want to make good music and quality music instead of selling themselves or dimming their artistry or dimming their ability to be themselves and to have a lane, and don't be afraid to take risks. That's why Ciara to me will always be like a dope artist and a dope entertainer. So that's just an example from what I'm seeing now. Now let's get to Khalid. Khalid is a dope artist. It's really rare to hear male singers like Khalid, because I really at first am so like glad that I took the time to listen to his albums. I listened to American Teen, which was his debut album he put out a couple years ago. Then he put out recently his new album, Free Spirit. Khalid is dope. I love that he has his own sound, he has his own lane, and he fits in the lane of Rick James, Michael Jackson, and Prince to me, because his music is different, it's nostalgic, it has elements of R&B, pop, alternative music, and his music's pretty good. And it's rare to hear other male singers that have their own sound and they want to be unique and they want to stand out from their peers. So it's like everybody listens to like Chris Brown, Ty Dolla $ign, and other artists too, right? And so Khalid, he stands in his own lane, and he's been getting a lot of love and success and recognition too. And I can see that he'll be around for a long time. I think he'll have longevity because his sound is more a combination of everything. And I've listened to both of his albums, American Teen and Free Spirit. And I really love his music. I think his music is really, really, really dope. I like that his music is, it's just, what's the word? It's eccentric and it's electric and it's more, it's just, it brings something, it's like magic, but it's good magic. And Khalid, really, he hit the nail on the head with his, projects, because I like how that his voice is really soothing and he knows how to sing. And Khalid, he's not a powerhouse singer, but he's very, like, he knows how to hit the notes. He knows how to sing harmonies and on beat, and that's really rare. And I like that he's comfortable in singing in his own voice, and he's very, like, in tune with his music. He takes his music seriously. So he has developed his craft, which is great. So I think that Khalid can really, like I said, I think he'll continue to do great things with his music down the road and have longevity. And I gotta be honest, I support this brother. I think he's really dope. I think he just got so much to offer. He has a fresh sound and he's refreshing. And I think that his sound is very, like, it's like a breath of fresh air. And I really, really was blown away by, like, both of his albums. I was like, okay, this brother got something going on. So I'm so glad with him that he was able to work with people like the producers to craft a sound for him that people know, oh, this is Khalid. And like I said, it can be challenging these days because everybody sounds the same nowadays. Everyone sounds like the same old, right? But I love artists that take risks and go outside the box and, just go from there. And that's what I love about Khalid. His music is more, it just got more like that. It's just, it's so different, but in a good way. And I love that Khalid, he just got natural and authentic about his lane and his style. And that's why I put him in the box of the other artists that I mentioned, because from the generations before him, they had, like, these male singers, they just had something very, it's just mystiqueness, but their talent spoke for itself. And I love how they played with different sounds and instrumentals, and more, like, they were able to just, do something very outside the box with their music, and they refuse to be put in the box. They refuse to dim their artistry. And I see with Khalid the same thing. So Khalid, he's doing his thing. I need to support him, get his albums, buy his albums, and and be like, just enjoy what he has to offer in the future. Let me talk about Ella Mai. I'm so glad that I pronounced her name right, because before I used to butcher up her name, but I finally got her name correct. So Ella Mai, she's been doing her thing. She's had success in her music career in R&B. She's one of the new artists as well that has been really changing the face of R&B music. Her sound is R&B, hip-hop with trap, and I had listened to her debut album, her self-titled debut album, which was released last year. And I would say that her sound is very, it's kind of like, she is bringing R&B, she's bringing hip-hop back, but I like her sound, and I like how she's sounding herself. But sometimes I often think about, like, she kind of sounds like other artists too, but I was concerned for her at first because I was like, she's talented, she's dope, but I didn't want her to, like, you know, struggle with, like, having her identity as her own artist. So with Ella Mai, her debut album is really good. The production, I like that she infuses R&B, hip hop, and trap, and it does suits her well. And even when I talk about the trap and R&B, I like it sometimes and sometimes I don't. But the only thing that I can critique is some of the production can be overpowering and overproduced, because I like her vocals, and she's also not a powerhouse singer, but she can sing. But sometimes I can't hear her vocals because the production is more, the production can like over, like, it's kind of like, what's the word, I would say I don't really hear her vocals as much, and I don't like, I don't know, I just don't, sometimes I feel like her vocals, they get like overshadowed by the production. It's more, sometimes R&B and trap, it does suit well with her voice and her sound, but I think she can incorporate other sounds and other elements and other combinations. But like I said, it is what it is. She does deliver, and I'm starting to warm up to her more. I think she's very talented. I could tell she's taking her craft seriously, and I like that, you know, she's really pushing the envelope of like R&B as a whole. Like, she just has her own lane, and that's a good thing. So Ella Mai, she's doing her thing. I know she wrapped up her tour, her debut tour, so shout out to her. She's doing it. So yeah, I think Ella Mai, I see her doing her music with you know, a lot of like that spunk and sass. I would also like for her to work with different sounds of music, and you know, she can do like jazz and neo soul. I think her voice can fit really well with like neo soul and jazz, because the R&B trap thing is cool, but I would like to hear something different from her. And I would like to hear more like sonically from her, just over like different patterns and different records. And also I see her doing music and having longevity. Alright, I'm going to keep the ball going. I'm going to keep the ball rolling. I'm going to talk about June's Diary. Don't get me started on June's Diary, because we already know who June's Diary is. We know who they are. And as a June's Diary fan, I did a dedication video. Go check it out. There's some things that I don't like, and I'm concerned for them. But anyway, June's Diary are talented, and I'm ready for new music. I am a huge JD Squad fan, and when I tell you I ride out with these girls forever till the wheels fall off, I am serious. I am serious. Now, R&B girl groups, we need, this generation needs an R&B girl group, period. This generation needs an R&B girl group, period. June's Diary, they are the total package. They have everything, and they have the appeal, they have the stage presence, they can sing. vocally, listen to June's Diary and you will not be dissatisfied. You will be pleased, because June's Diary are that up and coming group that people need. And I know R&B fans, and I know June's Diary fans, I know JD Squad, we've been holding down the fort. But I think that June's Diary will, and I believe in them, because like I said, they're independent, they've been hustling, they've been doing interviews, keeping the fans updated with the latest, exclusive information on, them recording new music and how things are as a group, how, they have the chemistry, and how they're very excited for them to make music that they can connect with the fans. Now, we already know June's Diary from the hit TV show Chasing Destiny, and it's not, like I said, it's rare to be picked, hand-picked out of five girls to be hand-picked from different states, from wherever the hell, like I said. And I really am very excited, but as a fan, I have to keep it 100. Some things are not, I don't like what I'm seeing. For example, their management. June's Diary's management need to step it up. And I know we have to stay patient, and we have to be patient. And I have said this in my dedication video, because we need to see, like, them getting the ball going. And it's not their fault. They have been doing everything they can. They have been, like, doing their part. The fans have been doing their part. I'm saying part, my bad. The fans have been doing their part too. And it's like, I want them to make quality music, and I want them to work with underground producers and mainstream producers. Now, the producers that understand their sound, and they understand their artistry as well, because they're dealing with, like, how to sustain in the marketing of music, and they're dealing with the, like, people just, like, just what's the word, how to cater to their audience and to connect with their fans. So music producers in general, they need to get with the right people that will craft a sound. They need to go to the studio, like, have ideas, be more, like, like, just take control of their artistry. Because really, in my eyes, I think that really they should have already put out their debut album. Now, that's just my opinion, but I understand things take time, it's a process, and things come up, and I understand. But like I said, I think that in the future they will put out new music, and they will, like I said, make it up for the fans. And I'm gonna tell y'all something, I'm a huge June's Diary fan. I love them so much. but I also want them to make sure that when things are lined up for them, that they execute it and they stay consistent. And they need all of the promotion that they can get. They need all of the promotion that they can have. And I want them to stay true to themselves and their artistry. Because nowadays, yeah, it's easy for artists to follow the trend. But June's Diary, I see them setting trends. I want them to set trends. I want them to create a sound for them. So people, when they hear June's Diary, it's like, oh, that's June's Diary. They're no different from any other girl group that came before them, from previous generations, period. Okay? That have developed and crafted their own sound so people will know who they are. And so I want for June's Diary to take advantage of their opportunities, get with like people, like Music Connections the right way, you know, Inside People the right way, you know, and just have that ability to create an album, their debut album, that will represent who they are as a group, period. Because June's Diary is June's Diary, and they are the next June's Diary, period. So I like that June's Diary, you know, they have stayed consistent, they have stayed humble, and they know, like, you know, like I said, they know about people, the critics, but they're going to stay true to themselves. Now, another issue that I had is Frank Gaston and Kelly Rowland. I feel like Kelly Rowland, for example, she has done everything that she possibly could to support this group, but she is focusing on her music career, and she's working on herself, getting her like music out there and promotion. She has done everything that she possibly could, but the issue that I have had with Kelly Rowland as far as promoting June's Diary, she should have had other people involved to help them out. If she wasn't able to like be with them consistency, she should have had other people come into their management and take control. Not in the back, but like know what they're doing, knowing how to market June's Diary, knowing how to help them get connections, like being able to like promote them, and to just, you know, stay true to their art. And Frank Gaston, he's been doing his thing too. Credit where his credit's due. He's still with them too. Like, he still is juggling between his other like other business, like in terms of music, but he's been getting the book shows and getting them more opportunities to like perform in other places, and they have been doing that, and I appreciate that. I really do, as a fan. But like I said, once we see where things are going right now, as a June's Diary fan, I will say this: I believe in them. They will be able to be that girl group that they are destined to be, and that's all I gotta say. And it's really sad because there is just a lack of R&B girl groups and R&B boy groups in R&B. And especially R&B lovers and R&B fans, they love R&B girl groups and R&B boy groups. And it's like, you know, hardly they exist, which is really sad. In this day of and climate of music, it's very sad that it's like they exist, but people don't know them that much because of the oversaturation of the music, and really some of them may not have like the opportunities and the support system they need to promote themselves and to promote their music. And I think that for June's Diary, you know, we need to support June's Diary. We need to go all the way for them. So JD Squad, shout out to y'all. When y'all see this, y'all gonna love this too. And speaking of R&B groups, let's get to the R&B boy bands. Now let's talk about B2K. I love B2K. I grew up with B2K. I grew up with all their music. I grew up with like their ability to like, you know, sing and dance. And B2K recently, they've been promoting their the Millennium Tour 2019, and I think they're just finishing up or wrapping up the tour, and it's been getting a lot of positive feedbacks. It's been getting a lot of positive reviews. People have been seeing them, supporting them. They've been selling out shows. They've been selling out arenas, tours, stadiums. And I think it's sad, but B2K back in the day, back down memory lane, they were a part of my childhood. Everybody loved B2K. B2K was hot, 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 hot back in the day. I knew all the girls loved B2K. I remember B2K, they came out. I was in the 2nd and 3rd grade when they started like really popping, and everybody saw B2K, and it's so good that B2K reunited, and it's good that B2K decided to like put their differences aside. And like I said, they've been through drama and stuff, but I'm glad that they took the time to get together and say, you know what, let's do a tour together, let's like do it for the fans. And it's been going well. And I like that B2K really, to me, I hate to say it, but B2K really are like pretty much the last breed of the R&B boy bands, because before them, generations before, I know like the Jackson 5, the Jacksons, New Edition, Dru Hill, Boyz II Men, Mint Condition, Tone. I mean, the list goes on. And then we got B2K. And really, I want another R&B boy band to like take the music business by storm. And really, like I said, I know good and well B2K will make an impact on R&B boy bands, because I know that B2K are like pretty much, like I said, they're pretty much in R&B, like they are like, people know who the B2K are. They know who they are in terms of like their impact in R&B and their hits. And so I would love for B2K to do another album and just fulfill their legacy, you know, because it's been a while since we've heard anything from B2K. They need to, well, in my opinion, I would love for them to get together and do one more album. And like I said, I think we need to give B2K their flowers for real, because right now, R&B boy bands, I really don't know what's going on, but they made interesting points, and they made like interesting perspectives on like the lack of R&B boy bands thriving in the music business. So R&B boy bands such as like, you know, the interview that they did, they talked about how the economy is low, and then people are not really interested in like groups anymore like that. But they said that there's a lack of like collaboration with like different artists, and it's more about the solo thing. And they also said even the traditional R&B, the music, how it's more now it's just more that quick microwavable stuff. And they said that, you know, it's a lot different, because when they came out in an era where you had to be talented. You had to be talented, okay? You had to have the full package. You had to have the full, like, straight up. And I love that B2K, you know, I really like that B2K are still known for, like, being one of the R&B boy bands of their generation and of their time. And I like that, you know, they really are like one of the best, just like the previous generations. I would love to see them, like, if they can put their differences aside, make more music. They can just do one more album, I will be happy. But we'll see in the future. But B2K, people need to give them their flowers. I think B2K also down the road, they need to be, like, pay homage and tribute, because right now it's sad that we don't have any, like, R&B boy bands really popping off. Same thing with, like, R&B girl bands popping off, because they exist, but I would love for them to get the opportunities, just like with June's Diary. I want June's Diary to, like, break the cycle, you know, and also other girl groups, R&B girl groups, that they can be the ones as well to break the cycle as well, and they can pave the way for the next generation of R&B girl groups. And for the R&B boy bands, I would like another R&B boy band to be successful, and so they can do the same thing and pave the way for the next generation of R&B boy bands. So I just see that we're in a different generation now. We're in a different mindset now. But I think that R&B is just missing, like, that, just like the talent and the thrill and excitement of music and the innovation. So anyway, let me talk about another R&B artist that I grew up with too. His name is the one and only Usher. Usher. We all know who Usher is. We all know Usher's catalog. We all know Usher's hits. So, Usher's fans, and I'm a fan of Usher, we're not satisfied, and we do not like what is happening, and we do not like what we're hearing. And Usher, to me, pretty much is like, I don't care what nobody says, Usher really paved the way for the entertainers, like, after him too, and even before him. He's like, you know, like the lanes of Michael Jackson, Prince, Stevie Wonder, Sam Cooke. And so Usher, he studied the greats before him. That's why Usher became so huge. And the way Usher could sing and dance on beat, you know, danced on beat and sang on a note, and give you that thrill and excitement and stage presence of music. And man, oh man, Usher is Usher. There will never be another Usher. But we need to give Usher his flowers now. We need to give Usher his flowers, because, like I said, man, I mean, there will never be another Usher. Period. But Usher has struggled too in his music career to maintain longevity and to make music that he can connect with his fans and his audience. And Usher, you know, I think it's time for him to really go back to the drawing board. And the fans, we do not like him just doing the trap and R&B thing, because it's just not cool. And he's more than that. He's capable of that. Usher, really, like I said, I think that it's not his fault, because I understand that artists have the right to grow and experiment with their music and keep up with the times and stay current. And I did listen to other people's perspectives and opinions of Usher about, like, you know, where he stands right now, because Usher, like I said, now he's dealing with like him being older, and he's 40 something years old, and he wants to still make music. He can always make music, but I want him to, you know, like, stay true to his artistry. And I really do think that right now the R&B and trap thing, it's not looking good for Usher, because his fans, they want like the Usher, like, making good music, quality music. And I like that Usher, as time went on, he have always experimented with his music. It's like Usher is like a chameleon, you know. He has a good ear of music, and he really has like a, like, he knows when it's time for him to put out an album. It's like he will make sure that it's out. But one of his critics, like, I saw like a YouTube video, and his fans were saying that Usher need to get back to the Usher that we all grew up and we all fell in love with. Like the Usher, like, you know, being the innovator, being like the artistic. And another Usher fan, well, I would say more of a critic, was like, well, you know, people really don't want to hear anything new and innovative, because they want to just, it's like they wouldn't even buy it. But at the end of the day, it doesn't fucking matter to me, because Usher got fans. Usher got money. Usher, look, Usher can even sponsor his tour and perform all over the world and call it a day. And also, Usher got money. He can set up his own record label. I mean, I don't know if he has done that, or like, is he in like the works of doing having his own record label. But Usher, pretty much, to me, he suffered from trying like to always cater to like the new audience so they can know his music. And I will say that Usher, I don't care. My advice from a fan, Usher, if you see this, go back to your catalog of your older music that you put out, be inspired, and stick to your roots, and create an album that represents who you are, and you still is the Usher that we all grew up in love. You can still stand the test of time with your music. You can do it, Usher. It's in you, Usher. Usher still got it. I don't care what nobody says. Usher still got it. He just gotta realize himself and look in the mirror and be like, you know what? I am Usher. I am the one that I really paved the way and created a new sound in music for entertainers like me and after me. And I think that even young male entertainers, like singing and dancing, they need to take a page out of Usher, study him, and see how Usher was so like into like stage presence and very into his art, his craft, like the way he was singing and dancing. He studied the greats before him, like as I mentioned, and he was very like, he wanted to keep it alive. He wanted to keep the genre of like just singing and dancing and stage presence. So Usher, you can do it. I don't want Usher to rush with this new album, because I know he's working on his new album, but I want Usher to stay true to his art, and he doesn't have to feel pressured to make this microwavable trap R&B music, because it's just not a good look for Usher. Usher's more than that, okay? Usher, go back, listen to his older music. You will see. Go listen to his hit records. You will see. You will hear that Usher had a special place in R&B music. Really, Usher was really like everywhere in R&B music. Everybody knows who Usher is in R&B. R&B music lovers know who he is. Everybody know. You name Usher, everybody know. So Usher, dude, you can do it. It's in you. So the next artist I will talk about is The one and only, the Songbird Supreme herself, my favorite artist, Mariah Carey. Where to start? I am a huge Mariah Carey fan. I am a dedicated Team Land Billy. And Mariah Carey, she saved my life with her music. And I have mostly all of her albums. And Mariah Carey is an example of an artist that she stands the test of time with her music, her catalog, her hits, her impact, her singing, her songwriting, her producing, all the above. Mariah Carey is the epitome and the definition of consistency, longevity. And she also, like I said, she struggled to maintain being consistent in her music career. But you know, Mariah Carey, she's not a quitter. And you know, her music is very therapeutic. And it stands the test of time. And it's really, like I said, her music is like on another level. And Mariah Carey, she still got it. She never lost it. Recently, Mariah Carey, she put out her new album, Caution, which came out last year. I have the album. This album is really good. It has Mariah Carey's signature sound. Her like vocals, her harmonies, the production. And the people that she worked with, the producers on the Caution album, I could tell she took her time with this album. She really, really stayed consistent and like taking advantage of, like, you know, knowing which direction she wanted to go with this album. And it's like with her, she really like, it's like it's one of her best albums to date, period. And I think Caution is like one of Mariah Carey's best bodies of work in her catalog, in her music catalog, period, because it still has like that charisma, and it has that, you know, just like that spontaneous, and a lot of like that, you know, feel good music. And Mariah has a really, really good ear of music. That's why Mariah Carey's like, with her, she's always put out good music. But one thing about her, when she puts out an album or is in the process of making new music, she's going to take her time. She's going to get into her creative zone. And she will make sure that she has, like, you know, like a lane for herself that, you know, people, like I said, you can say whatever you want to say about Mariah Carey, but one thing you can't say, she made an impact on your favorite singers nowadays, because people have she influenced like these up and coming new singers. They have cited her as inspiration. And she really, really, really like is an example of just being the icon and legend that she is. And I'm glad that people have been giving her flowers. I'm glad that she's been getting her tributes. I'm glad that people are acknowledging and recognizing her hard work and dedication in this music business, because she knows, like I said, way too well that, you know, with her, she really is like the testament of like staying true to your art and longevity and keep doing music. And for her critics, her haters, man, Mariah Carey fans, Team Land and Billy, we don't pay attention to them because they've been saying the same old thing. Mariah Carey can't sing. Well, she can still sing and still have that stage presence, and still really, like I said, you know, she can still put out music that is still relevant today. She also doesn't feel like she has to put out, like, stay current with even the trap and R&B. You know, she've always set trends. And for example, there are some songs on Caution that she did do a little bit of trap. She did do a little bit of R&B. So it's like she did do like all the above. But one thing about Caution, this album from start to finish is cohesive. I can hear Mariah, like her vocals, the arrangements, the production, they go really well. And then I can hear her voice, and she still got it. She still can do them whistle notes. Back down memory lane. Yeah, back down memory lane. You know, Minnie Riperton. And Minnie Riperton is her inspiration. Minnie Riperton is her inspiration. And she grew up with her too. So that's why I said Mariah Carey has had a really good ear of music. And like, she really knows what works best for her. And I gotta be honest, as a Mariah Carey fan, I'm really pleased, and I'm glad that she's still making music. I'm glad that she's still doing the damn thing. So, on to the next one. Mary J. Blige. Now listen, I cannot leave out the queen of hip hop and soul. I cannot leave her out. I cannot. Mary J. Blige. I grew up with her music. I grew up with like listening to Mary, her experiences in her life. You know, it's like a diary. And you know, in R&B, Mary J. Blige is one of like the popular. She's well known. She's at the top of the list of female R&B singers. And Mary J. Blige is an example of longevity as well. Because Mary, when she started out in the music business, her sound of R&B and hip hop, it went hand in hand. And once she got onto that, once she found her sound, her craft, she took off and never left. And as a dedicated Mary J. Blige fan, I am so pleased with like Mary J. Blige having the ability to still connect with her fans to this day. And even some of the younger generation, some of the younger audience. Now, Mary, she's another one that she does puts out music that stands the test of time, and she's another one. She did put out that album, Strength of a Woman, 2 years ago. She put out that album in 2000, I would say 2017. Yeah, 2017, because she was going through her personal stuff and all that. But this album, in terms of like the production and in terms of like the way how she's singing, and she's really like being more vulnerable. Every time Mary J. Blige puts out a record, she's gonna give it to you. She takes you there with her emotions. She's the same thing with Mariah Carey. They know like their experiences in life, they have helped their fans through thick and thin. And they have really pushed the limit and pushed their artistry and wasn't afraid to step outside the box. That's why I think that Mary J. Blige, she is another one that people, they've been giving her flowers too. You know, she's been honored. Even the younger singers, some of them have said, yo, Mary J. Blige is the influence of R&B. You know, she inspired me to do music. And I like that she's still making her music. She got a new album coming out. And of course, as a Mary J. Blige fan, I will support her. I will buy her album, because you know how I roll about Mary. But I think Mary J. Blige, she's another one that people, they underestimated her too. But like I said, when you have had so much impact in music, and even like, you know, overall, like your fans still connect with you to this day, it's like you're still the shit, no matter what people say. So I love that Mary is still making music. She'll always like be like, you know, one of my favorite singers, period. So I think Mary is, like I said, she really came through with her career. She has shared her ups and downs in the music business and in her personal life. And I think that even for her, you know, she really, like, to me, it's like we'll never have another Mary J. Blige, period. So that's all I gotta say. I gotta leave it on that note as a Mary J. Blige fan. What else should I talk about? I should talk about the issue with, like, there's a lack of music outlets such as the like people promoting their music. And for example, we had 106 & Park, and 106 & Park was an important music outlet and even a show that helped, like, singers and artists and rappers get their shine, their spotlight, and to perform their hit singles, their songs, and have interviews and promote their albums. And man, my childhood, like I said, it was everything. So I'm going back down memory lane. So, you know, people would go to the show and support their favorite artists. They had, like, the exclusive, like, content. We saw, like, the hostess being more, you know, like, interacting with the fans. And I like that. Like I said, I hate that 106 & Park went away. I hate that it went away. I hate that everything just went downhill. After they took away 106 & Park, it was like, okay, how are these artists supposed to, like, promote their music? How are they supposed to, like, promote new projects and stuff like that? So it's like, you know, I think that really, it's like, in my opinion, there needs to be a new outlet for people to promote R&B music, and especially just like TRL. TRL has been back, and they've been doing their thing. 106 & Park needs to come back. It can happen again, but people won't have to get together and take it serious. And I also, like I said, miss the days where when I was little, I would watch 106 & Park at 6 o'clock every single day, Monday through Friday. And then I remember we had AJ and Free, Julissa, Big Tigger, and the last of, like, the good hosts, Terrence and Roxy. And then after them, Bow Wow tried to save it and some other hosts, but it was short-lived, and then the show got canceled. And 106 & Park wasn't no different from the Soul Train Awards and the Soul Train, like, promoting new music, promoting artists, and all that good stuff. So it's like, you know, I need for new music outlets to, you know, promote these new artists and let them have the opportunities and the chance for them to promote their stuff and to promote their music, so it can happen again. And also, last but not least, I'm gonna talk about the fans and social media and networking before I wrap this video up. So I've also noticed that these fans nowadays, they have their opinions, they have their perspectives on their favorite artists in general, putting their music out, and they are really like annoying at times, because I feel like every time I get on Twitter, it's the same old. They arguing and they worry about who's popular and all that. I don't care about that. Then dragging other fans. My favorite's better than your fave. It's old and tired, people. Just support the fucking music, goddammit. Okay? Period. That's all you gotta do. Because it's an issue where we have so much talent, and then people are so worried about, like, you know, people like not buying. They're not buying music as much nowadays. But I think about how social media can be a good thing and a bad thing for music, because it's a way for people to get to know music. I mean, get to know the artist, get to promote the music. But I also think there's negativity on social media as well. And then you got these damn trolls. They be in their little bad shenanigans. And like I said, I don't have time to be arguing with no troll on social media. I don't have time for it. But I will say this, fans, they need to step their game up and be fans. And especially the fans of R&B. If you want these artists to be successful, you're going to have to do your part. You're going to have to buy the music. Buy it on iTunes. Stream their music. Buy their CD in stores. Because that's the only way. So, it's like, they need to do that. They need to do that because fans, you know, like I said, some of them be showing their colors when they wait till last minute, or they wait until like the album comes out from their favorite artist or an artist that they like, and when they see the results, that's when they get to determine whether they support the artist or not. No, if you say you're a fan, go support your favorite artist. And it goes to show you that you got some of these fans, they're just fans on social media. They're not really fans. They're not like fans like going out and buying like the music in stores. But it goes to show you that times have changed. Now I think that, you know, the fans nowadays, they need to realize it's a new day and age of music, and they need to have a game plan. Be like, you know what, we're going to support our artists until the wheel fall off. We're going to be more proactive. We need to promote, you know, because it takes a village to raise a child. That's how really it's like, you know, you have to really like, you know, be yourself and just go for it, and don't have like, you know, like I said, you just have to really just do your part. Because really nowadays, you got some of these fans, they just get on my nerves. But you know what? Shout out to the real fans that understand and have a game plan and will buy the music regardless. And even now, as far as I'm concerned, fans, they just gonna have to step their game up. That's all I gotta say right now. I don't know what else to say. But also, let me check in some other artists that people should look out for. Her is another R&B artist that I think is dope. She's doing her thing in music. She got more like that R&B soul, jazz kind of feeling the music. So I like her, and she has stage presence, and I can tell she's really serious in her craft, and she has a really, really good ear in music. And SZA, Ari Lennox, Elle Varner, and Jasmine Varner, because they're the other ones, they were doing their thing in music too. They're bringing back the sound of R&B. Who else? Any male singers? I can't can't think of any of them right now, but any of them that you guys want me to check out, type in below. Make sure that I know who they are so I can do a review on a song, an album. So I'm really like interested in like the singers, males that can sing besides what we have out right now. Also check out Normani Corday, and who else? Tinashe is another one. Chloe and Halle. So yeah, those are the ones that really, like I said, the up and coming new R&B artists that I've been, you know, checking them out as well. So guys, that's all I have to say. I did my best, like, you know, so let me wrap it up. But yeah, R&B is missing like just that innovation, that thrill, and just being able to be like back to the forefront. Because like I said, if the fans don't step up and do their part, then it's like, you know, but it's all good. So you know your girl gotta sign out as always. Like, share, comment, and subscribe below. Don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Don't be afraid to hit that notification bell. And stay tuned on the next episode of Gifted Since 92 Dragon Ball Z narrator reference. Peace. Alright, y'all. See you next time. Bye bye.